Hello YouTube, this is Through World 101 here, and we're going to be looking at some more trick tracks today. I'm just going to stop going through evolution ones and stop with died. Now, I realize my videos are pretty terrible at this point, but I see no way to get better than to keep putting them out until I get more interactive with what I'm doing. Yeah, I have good news, children. Your teacher. Okay, this one's called Apes and Mr. Henn. If you want to look up any of these, just go to w.chick.com and just go to the Tracts. If you just click on Tracts, it will give you the ones that you can order. So a lot of them are in the out of print section, so look on that if you want to find a lot of ones that aren't just show up if you just click the whole Tracts category. Anyway, so we're going to start with this, and I have good news, children. Your teacher, Mrs. Tucker, had twins. And here's your new teacher, Miss Henn. Wow! Good morning, Miss Henn. Thank you, children. Okay? It's an okay stout, reasonable stout. We're going to be great friends. And you meet many of my close friends, too. We're going to have such fun together, as long as you do what I say. Power-hungry teacher. She seems a little power-hungry. Later, today, I want you to know how great you are and how far we humans have come. Soon we'll live in outer space. Wow! Awesome! Oh! But it took millions of years from change to apes into humans. Miss Henn, did it really come from monkey? Yes, scientists have proven it. Timmy, that's a lie? What did you just say? So I'll stop here. I sound like a broken record because this is going to show up on every chick track I do and every creationist response I do, anything creationist say. But science does not necessarily say we came from modern monkeys. We came from us and modern apes both came from ape-like ancestor of all modern apes, basically. And they always misrepresent the teacher or the evolutionist as this sour person, and then the students rise up and intellectually defeat the teacher. That's basically the formula for all this chick tracks. So, and then the teacher admits she's wrong, and then, yeah, that's or he's wrong, whatever sex the teacher is, or it's, I don't know, whatever you want to identify as. So, it follows the formula. What's your name, little girl? Susie. Susie Bounds. Well, Miss Bounds, what did you tell that little boy? Miss Henn, I told him the truth. We didn't come from monkeys. Are you calling me a liar?
Excuse me, Anthony?
No, ma'am. They're calling God a liar.
What are you doing?
You come with me. Okay, for one thing, I hate how they just accept, I listened to this hip-hop rapper named Dead Prez, and he said this line that got me thinking. He said, they say you're not supposed to question God, but can you question the pastor? That it all passed down from blah blah blah. So anyway, the first line was the important part. You're not supposed to question God, but can you question the pastor? How do you know the pastor's telling the truth that it's from God? How do you know the person who wrote the Bible is telling the truth the Bible inspired it? Even if you accept the fact that you're not supposed to question an all-knowing, all-powerful being, can you question the people who are claiming it's coming from an all-knowing, all-powerful being? And I don't know, they don't seem to get that. Plus, the teacher is always, I don't know, I just wanted to point that out before I continue. Oh no, what's gonna happen to little Susie? How dare you embarrass me in front of the class? You are in deep trouble, young lady. I don't think she really embarrassed you. You embarrassed yourself by being a cruel bitch, but she kind of embarrassed herself by being, admitting her parents are religious fundamentalists. Which is nothing to be, I don't really blame the child. I mean, she's been indoctrinated into this whole creationism thing. Okay, teacher. And I never forgive or forget. Go back in there and keep your mouth shut. Or else. See, the teacher is just threatening like crazy. Just... Everything's alright, children. Just a little misunderstanding. Right, Susie? Okay, Miss Henn. Okay, let's wait until... I'm gonna wait until they bring up more points to do more commentary. For now, I'm just gonna read through the things. If I tell you we came from Ape, I expect you to believe me, right? Yes, Miss Henn. Oh Lord, she's lying. What can I do? No, you shouldn't believe it. Go do your research for yourself. Read peer-reviewed papers. Papers that have been checked by scientists to bug scientists. Look up the evidence that's out there. Don't take anybody's word on anything. Look up the actual facts behind the subject, so you can come to your own conclusion. But you don't seem to be doing that either way. The scientific evidence is absolutely overwhelming. Millions of years ago, dinosaurs ruled the earth. Whoa, whoa. Scientists believe they disappeared when a giant comet hit the earth. Yes, I think of like hundreds of millions of years ago is the better estimate, but millions of years can include hundreds of millions of years, I guess. And the scientific evidence is overwhelming for the age of the earth, dinosaurs, evolution, that kind of stuff. It's still totally overwhelming in that category. Yeah, it is. And the best quote theory we have is the gigantic comet theory. Yeah, even though there's other theories out there, that's the best explanation we have at this point. It's not mean we have to accept it as absolute fact if new evidence comes up, because no, if new evidence arises, we'll change it to fit the evidence. That's the difference. We change our science in religion. Science starts with a question and goes to the conclusion based on the evidence, and sometimes changes the conclusion based on more evidence or new evidence. But what religion does is they start with the conclusion, then look for evidence to support their conclusion, or evidence that doesn't even really support their conclusion. They can twist to look like it's supporting the solution. Is the more common. It's absolutely true. Boards came from dinosaurs. That's it, children. We'll continue tomorrow. Isn't it exciting? I've heard that boards came from dinosaurs. I haven't seen that absolutely proven yet, because the majority of dinosaurs went extinct, but I haven't really looked into that much. And what I hate about this is every time... Okay. Susie, why did you say Miss Henn called God a liar? Because God made the earth in only 6 days, not millions of years. How do you know? What I was going to point out was the quotation mark thing here. See Dr. Kent Hovind's creation seminar videos available from Chick Publications. See, the thing is, like this, they always link you. If you read any of his Chick tracts, all it tells you to see is like Kent Hovind stuff. It's like nobody else, just like see this thing by Kent Hovind. You know, it's not peer reviewed. Just this one guy giving this thing. But no, it doesn't make any sense. God tells us in the Bible what happened, and he should know. He was there. Was Miss Henn. She's old, but she's not that old. It's the whole "were you there" thing. I hate that. It's like, were you there? Well, no, we weren't there. But give the evidence left behind from the time period. Fossil records, radiometric dating, blah 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 blah. Evidence among evidence led by paleontology, biology. Tons of And if they're claiming 6,000 years, you could also bring in astrology, cosmology, all this other kind of science, physics. I'm assuming you can bring that in somewhere. I don't see how you couldn't. But it's like, what do you want there? Well, no. But that doesn't mean you can't look at the evidence from the time period and make a reasoned conclusion based on the evidence available. The whole observational versus experimental science thing Henn was saying, which creationism seemed to use. I've never seen a real scientist using it, but because there's really no difference in how you can do that. You can use the same methods. You can use a scientific method to get to discover stuff about historical science the same way you can use it to design stuff using experimental science. There's no reason you have to separate the two branches of science, even though they're not really two branches, they're the same branch. It's just kind of distorted. I'm not explaining this well, but I'm trying. And then there's the Bible thing again. As I pointed out, even if you're going to say, well, you shouldn't question, I'm just saying you're not supposed to question God. Well, can you question the pastor? See, I pointed that out earlier. See, even if you say you're not supposed to question an all-knowing, all-powerful being, how can you question people who claim they spoke to an all-knowing, powerful being, pass it down in a book, claim this, claim that, claim this, and then it passed down generation after generation, and it was taught by past priests, blah, 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 and it was just passed down legend. Can you question them of the truthness of their claim? That's what I don't know. God said he made the first dinosaur and the first man on the same day. And it was about 6,000 years ago, not millions. Okay, that doesn't support anything. And nothing supports really dinosaurs and man at the same time period that I've seen. That's in the Bible. The Bible tells us lots of stuff. It even tells us where we go when we die. We all go to heaven, right? No, Timmy. Most people will end up in hell. It even tells us... Oh, sorry. How come? Because of sin, Timmy. Sin is when people do bad things and disobey God. And sin is what keeps people from going to heaven. Well, I didn't know that. The saddest part, if people are told that we come from apes and believe it, then they won't pay any attention to what God says. Susie, what Miss Henn told us today is wrong. If it gets us in trouble with God, that's right. This lie was created by the devil to keep kids out of heaven. But Susie, I want to go to heaven when I die. What am I supposed to do? See, the chick tracts have this formula. It's either person. It depends what person in an alternate viewpoint. Somebody challenges them on that viewpoint. The opposing viewpoint person is just rude, and the viewpoint of the Jack Tricks viewpoint is just this nicest, most person ever. Well, not really, since they're saying everybody's gonna go to hell, but you know what I mean. And then they just change it around. So if you don't change this, they usually appeal to emotion, like you're gonna go to hell. You don't want to suffer for everybody. You want to go to heaven, not hell. And then there's always Jesus. It's like this. Oh, Jesus died for you, and then accept Jesus, and then somebody accepts Jesus who didn't before, apparently. I don't know. Jesus did something very special for you, Timmy, to make sure the old devil doesn't get you when you die. Susie, this is scary. What did Jesus do? He left heaven for you, Timmy. Heaven? What are you trying to say? He's God. Yes, he is, Timmy. And the devil fought him for your soul. And the angels in heaven were watching it all. When Jesus was born, the devil sent a whole army of men to kill him. Did Jesus get away? I don't remember the Bible story where the devil sends an army to kill Jesus. I don't think that's an actual Bible story. I think that he's just pulling that out of his ass. Because I don't remember hearing that anywhere. Oh yes, because he had to grow up and show us the only way we can get to heaven. How's that? Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Is Jesus the only way to heaven? That's right, Timmy. And I'm going to skip over this thing. I'm going to keep it while I read this, so if you want to read this and pause it, just read that. Because it's just quotes from the Bible, so mainly from John, it looks like. Is that true, Susie? Yes, Timmy, and the devil doesn't want people to hear about Jesus. So he blinds them and makes them think that there are many ways to heaven. Most of the world will end up in hell with the old devil because they didn't believe in Jesus so they could be saved. Susie, I want Jesus to save me. What am I supposed to do? Pray and ask Jesus to forgive you for your sins and to come into your heart and save you. Okay, I will. So Timmy prayed, and Jesus became the Savior and the Lord of his life. Good for you, Timmy. Now the old devil won't get you. Timmy, Jesus created man and apes the same day. Miss Henn doesn't believe in Jesus. She's wrong, but she's our teacher, and we have to have respect for you. The devil has blinded Miss Henn, right, Susie? Yes, to me. She believes a lie, and we must love her and pray for you. You believe in evolution instead of Jesus, you'll end up in hell. Actually, I think, statistically speaking, I've never looked at teachers in general. I know the Academy of Science is mainly non-Christian and almost completely, as far as I know, completely non-creationist. But I'm assuming teachers are a much smaller number. Considering I've talked to teachers, and this is a really small kid's life who know less about a lot of scientific concepts than I do at this point. Just because I've read, like, Universe from Nothing, I've read a bunch of books like that, and I don't know. So what I'm saying is, statistically pleading, I think she's probably a Christian and does believe in Jesus. She just is one of the many Christians who compartmentalize and see evolution as not incompatible with their theistic viewpoints. So we're gonna move on to In the Beginning, but first I'm gonna play the song Quiz. Growing, changing. I know I'm probably gonna get flagged for this, but whatever. If it goes down, it goes down.
We can grow. We can develop.
Just gonna play till it gets to the point.
As we know that heaven is not a place, and happiness lives in the heart. Long as the world keeps turning, our duty is
The next one is gonna be this one.
You heard? Keep on learning. It's soaking up, okay?
And this is like a minute, 30 seconds when it gets by. The first non-course part.
Keep on growing. Keep on soaking.
As far as I know, you should hear this. You can't hear this. I'm sorry, I just look up the video that I'm shifting back and forth from.
Nobody know it all. As soon as you think you do, that's when you fall. We got to do more to survive. We must evolve. Things change. Just when you think you've seen it all, we trip, we stumble, but we get back in stride. Each day, all the way, one step at a time. Don't wanna let my ego and pride make me blind. The elders say when you stop growing, that's when you die. The one who gets the knowledge is the one who asks why. Through the course of life, you gon' taste some humble pie, but I love it. It makes me appreciate the things that I take for granted. Gaining insight and understanding. Each one teach one, we got to pass it on. Keep doing the knowledge, building and adding on. With faith in the assumption that nobody knows everything, but everybody knows something. Keep on learning, keep on growing, don't be afraid. First you gotta ask the right questions, or else you go into cycles and cycles and spirals. Information is viral, it's infectious, it's contagious, and how you go into stages like the night you don't believe that. No news, see it's kinda like some shoes, cause they got to make you move.
Okay, I don't even know if that was the right song, but you get the point. And I recommend him. Hey, computer man, check out my dinosaur. I just had to do it in the bathroom. Was the real reason I did that. This critter lived 145 million years ago. That's a joke. Your teacher's been brainwashed. Oh, I read it in the wrong order, but he said he and my teacher told me that before that. Sometimes it's hard to realize where thought models come from before you actually reading the thought bubbles, like which one comes first. Especially when they're standing in opposite things, like you read from left to right, and the left person is the one who's speaking second. And it's not below, you know what I mean? I don't know. Evolution is the religion of scientists who laugh at God. 145 million years? Those guys are only guessing. Okay, evolution is not a religion. Science is not a religion. Clear that up. That should be pretty obvious to anybody. And evolution has no say on the existence of God at all. In fact, I think Darwin, it was in his edited edition, or was it in his original edition? I think it was in the edited edition he changed to said God breathed life. And as far as I know, Darwin was a theist who believed God created abiogenesis, most likely, is what his belief was. What we'd call the field of abiogenesis in biology today. Even though that's not necessarily true, it's not necessarily... Evolution doesn't necessarily mean even deist, never mind pantheist or atheist. It doesn't necessarily follow like that. I think logically it actually does, but for the majority of people it doesn't, and that's better. I'd rather have them accept science and still hang on to these unscientific beliefs than completely dismiss all advances of science that would help us advance as a species. And of course, we're not guessing. I'm assuming 145 million years. As I mentioned before, radioactive dating is pretty accurate. There's different forms of it. Google it if you don't believe me. Okay, smart guy. I suppose you know when the dinosaurs was here. Yes, I do, and I can tell you to the exact day. Okay? Let me guess his answer. 6,000 years ago, because the Bible says. That's going to be his answer. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah, hopefully I'm right. Listen to me. Since so many scientists contradict each other, I found this to be the only source I can trust. Okay, scientists contradict each other because they want to disprove the theories. It's peer-reviewed theories. If the theory isn't accurate, they're willing to change it based on new evidence or existing evidence that's been misinterpreted by some scientists. But science is able to change the existence of new evidence. They contradict each other because they're trying to introduce new theories with the new evidence to get a better understanding of the natural world. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Look what took place in 6 days. Okay, it's a 6-day thing. He's quoting the Bible. What did I say? Blah, blah, blah. No Big Bang. It's really happened. I'm just going to summarize for the rest of this. You can pause it and look at it if I scroll down too fast. I shouldn't, because I'm going to stop. And even though I'm not reading the whole thing out loud, I'm going to stop and comment on mainly every individual thing. So he says there's no Big Bang. For one thing, again, I point out that those are two separate forms of science. There's cosmology. I think Big Bang Theory falls under cosmology. It might fall under astrology, but I think it falls under cosmology. I'm not sure. Maybe those are the same thing. See, I'm not even that well read on this. But evolution is biology. There's two different theories of things. And you can be an evolutionist and not believe in the Big Bang. They always go from evolution to the Big Bang, and it just doesn't logically necessarily follow that way. Even though it does if you look at the evidence, what I'm saying is you can accept the evolution while rejecting the Big Bang, because they're not the same theory. Is what I'm saying. I don't know. See, it even says right here. He says, "No, son. How did they go, smart guy? Oh, I got you." Okay, he appeared with the grass, trees, and such. See, right even here, it says separated the waters, because there's the whole firmament thing that you can look up. I believe it's something about the sky itself is water separated by a dome that encases the earth. So there's the water below, there's the land, maybe there's this, I don't know exactly know, but there's the dome that protects us from the water above. That's how it explains the Noah story, where all the flood water came from, is from the dome firmament up there that's below heaven. So it's us, the dome, and inside of the dome I think they even put stars in the sun and such. And then above the dome is heaven, as far as I understand it.
Yeah. Actually, that was soft.
The very next day, God made the sun, moon, and stars. They had to be what they did it. So the sun, moon, and stars in 1944. The one thing, how the days before the sun. But I'm not even going to get into that whole thing. And I'm not even going to get into, let's assume they're just completely ignoring how long it takes for the starlight to reach us. And they say it was made already en route to us by God. I'm just going to completely ignore that. And just move on from here, because Day 5. The waters brought fish forth in abundance, and every wind followed after its kind. On Day 6, God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind. Cattle and creepy things and beasts of the earth after his kind," and it was so. He says, "That blows me away. My brain is reeling. How does that blow him away? He hasn't done anything except quote Genesis. He hasn't pointed out any evidence that points to anything. He hasn't contradicted any evidence of evolution, the Big Bang Theory. He just said there's no Big Bang Theory because, I got this book that has this story called Genesis. Why? You know what? I believe in the creation myth. Most of the creation myth is when we're on I think it's like Hinduism or something. Something about like the earth is I feel it was on the back of a turtle. There's interest in creationist myths that I would choose over the Christian one. I'm just saying. That's what the world against said. But something more important happened on that same day, Jason. And they created man. It says, no, those stars saying it's prehistoric man, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't know how you explain the transitional fossils, but whatever. But man and bad on the same day. That's what God's word tells us. Well, he's just gonna blatantly accept that as God's word. Like, everybody in these is so dense, they get tricked so There are photos of men's footprints walking next to dinosaur footprints. I really don't think that's a thing. They could be in different layers of rock to date to different time periods, or one of the things could have stayed while the rocks where the human footprint is was weathered away, and then the human footprint's on the same level. Like, I haven't looked into that, but I'm sure if what they're quoting is even a real thing, that there's some kind of scientific explanation for it. I'll look into it after this, and if it comes up in any future videos of mine, I will make sure to bring it up. Can you trace back in time when I'd live? Roughly 6,000 years ago. And what I've been taught in school, films, and magazines is all phony. Well, no, it's not. Well, most of the stuff you taught in schools, films, and magazines is phony. But this is not phony at all. It's not propaganda. It's scientifically proven by peer-reviewed papers, studies using the scientific method to determine the best explanation of how we got here, how certain things happen, and the explanations of nature. Ta-ta. Ta-ta. Ta-ta-ta. Adam's story. Dun, 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 dun. So he created Eve, and that's where the drama begins, apparently. Because he's indirectly pointing out that women create drama. Okay, it says Satan entered the serpent. That's a common thing, but nowhere in the Adam and Eve myth does it say the serpent is Satan at all. That's never even mentioned at all. No, 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 no. They eat the apples. They lost their innocence. And God cursed us, blah blah blah. You know the story. If you don't, I don't know where you've been living. Not on earth. No. Cain, Abel. I'm sure they're gonna go into Cain and Abel killing themselves. Are they just gonna skip by that? Oh, yep. He mailed his kid brothers out of the galaxy. Adam's sin passed into his children and all of his following generations. And then down to my sinner. We're all sinners. And how it's been changed. No. You understand what's going on. The whole thing. And then, the whole Jesus sacrificed himself for you, and then he, believes in Jesus, and he's going to heaven, apparently. Like, that's how all these end. So, that's all I'm doing for now. Thank you for watching. This is the True World 101.